So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hopefully, not too many people gonna be in the waiting room. I'm gonna move this over here, and I have to check that periodically. So if I'm looking right here and I look over there, I'm checking to see anybody in my waiting room. Let's move forward. So this week we're gonna talk about Helocs. Next week, Coach Joe gonna be on. He's gonna talk about group homes. Right now, we have some huge things going on up there in Chicago. He's working on group homes as we speak. He flew to Chicago this morning and looking at some prospects and meeting with several people about group homes. He's going to bring a lot of information about what he's learning with that process. The week after that, I will talk about lead generation. You don't have a business if you don't have leads. If you don't have anybody calling you or you're not calling people, you're not having a successful business, right? So we want you to have a successful business. And then we're going to talk about private money lending, the OPM, other people money. I lend my money out to people all the time. All the time. I lend my money out because I don't want my money sitting in a bank, right? My money sitting in a bank is how much interest? 0.1%, 0.2%, probably no 0.005%. But if I lend my money out, I get 8%, 10%, 12%, 15%, and 20%, right? By lending my money to someone else to work on a project. So I literally do that. I work a 9-to-5 job, most of us on this call, and my 9-to-5 make a great check with my 9-to-5. However, my 9-to-5 is just a check, right? It's just a check. And if I die today or tomorrow, that's all I'm leaving is a check behind. Maybe a little pension for a little while. But if I plant my 9-to-5 residual income into assets like rental properties, like wholesaling or businesses, or teaching more folks how to do this stuff, right? Teaching, planning, and marketing myself out there to help others, then now I have a lot of assets growing incomes. And if I die today or tomorrow, now I left my kids, my family members, a business behind. I left them assets, bringing them money in, rental properties, bringing money in over and over and over again. Then I leave enough insurance to pay it all off. Enough insurance to pay it all off. So that's the business mindset that I have. If I die today with my great job, perfect. I leave a little retirement money. I leave a little pension behind. I leave a little bit. But if I die with a business asset, performing business assets, and I die, I leave assets for my family members, and they can continue to grow, right? And my goal is very simple. I want to have 4 generations to live off the wealth I build. 4 generations, right? So that's my personal goal, is to try and make that much money, 4 generations off of my living. All right. So let's see. We're gonna talk about Helocs, home equity line of credits. You all right, Junior? All right. I'm sorry, y'all. My son, I guess he's gonna take himself out. So what is a HELOC, right? What is a home equity line of credit? Who we are, a few examples on risk versus rewards, right? The more risk, the more reward, less risk, less reward. And why use lines of credits, right? All right, somebody coming in, y'all. All right, I got 3 screens going on. All right, so what is a HELOC? I'm glad you asked, right? Listen, what if I tell you that a home you live in is it's a liability? First of all, we need to know about liability and assets, right? It's a liability. A liability is anything that's taken away from you, that's spending money, any expenses, right? We consider those liabilities. Even though you live in a house and 3 years later, your house is worth 50 grand more, 100 grand more, 500 grand more, it's still a liability, because while you're living there, you're paying utilities, you're paying, mortgage, you're paying insurance, you're doing maintenance, all that's coming out of your pocket and nothing's coming in. Now, if you use a room, like I got a room over my garage, it's as big as my garage, 2 rooms over my garage, as big as my garage. If I go and rent that room out to someone, a family, now I'm making my liability an asset, because now I'm bringing some money in, right? That's how we're looking at this. So when you look at a line of credit, your HELOC, and you have a house that you're living in every day that costs you money, yard maintenance, right? Broken windows, busted light bulbs, all this mess, right? Now, when you can go and take your money that you have tied up with the bank the equity, that $500,000 equity you got in there, that $300,000 equity in there, and you can borrow that money out, you can use that for home improvements on the house you live in. No, I wouldn't. Medical expenses, if you got a problem, yeah, but I'm going to teach you a way you don't have to do that. And the most important is college tuition. Why would I want to take something that costing me money, borrow money from something that costing me money to pay more money on something costing me money, right? Why would I want to do that? Some people do this, right? But I like to do OPM, other people money. I like to do other people money. So when you have a line of credit, you have a revolving cash line of money available to you. That's how I started my business. Not telling you something I heard, not telling somebody told me. That's how I started my business. I graduated December 2023. December 2003. I graduated 2003, right? In July, I closed on my house, but I put April, I put a contract on a house to buy a house. All right, let me make sure nobody ain't trying to get in. Somebody texting me. All right, cool. All right, so I put a contract on a house in April. I closed on July 29, 2004. I bought the house for 80 grand, $80,000, guys. Straight out of college, 2003, December 2003. Started working January as a school teacher, right? School teacher. Put a contract on a house in April, closed in July 29, 2004, right? How do I know that? Because that's my mom's birthday, July 29th. And I closed on her birthday, so I can never forget it. The house was worth 100 grand. I paid 80 grand. The house was worth 100. I bought it with a veterans VA loan, right? So I didn't pay nothing, probably like $500 for the house, right? To get in the house and start moving, right? Because the VA, you waive all those fees, you waive all that stuff. It's all in the loan. Now, $20,000 worth of equity right off the back. Getting ahead of myself, but I just want to get your mind rolling on how this works. And that's what I'm telling you. All right. So who we are, I'm going to back up a little bit so you can know who we are. I'm Coach Williams. Coach Joe is in Chicago traveling right now, dealing with the house up there. He has several years of experience. He actually worked with an actual real estate investor a long time ago. He used to coach people how to do real estate investments. And he learned from fix and flips. So he's done several fix and flips. He's great at it. He's awesome at it. Love to partner with that guy. Me, I'm a school teacher. Somebody lived check to check for a long time. Check to check for a long time. And I kept trying to find a way to get into business, right? That's who I am. So I started off with using my 9-to-5 check to buy a property, right? To buy a property with my line of credit, and then only break even or within the first 2 years, pay the money back that I put into. That's how I started out. So I do work, right? I buy the property with cash or with my line of credit. I work on it with cash or with my line of credit, right? That's burned, right? And then in 2 years, the amount of money I put into it, the rent and paid it off, now I'm got 100% return on my investment. That's how I do it. My partner, Joe, he does fix and flips. He get a house at the stupid low price because he's ultra aggressive, right? He go get it really low. He fix it up with OPM, my money, because I lend my money to him to fix the properties up. He give me a super cool interest rate on that money, right? And then he sell it to somebody else, and he made a big profit with none of his money. He bought the house low. He bought the house with my money. He worked on it with my money. He fixed it up with the bank money. Then he sell it, and he make all that money back as a profit. Now he stopped doing fix and flips because the market shift, and now he's doing buy and hold, and he's doing BRRRR, the same thing I do, but now he's doing group homes, and he's doing Section 8 homes. He took my little speed on Section 8 homes. So that's what we're doing now. So that's who we are, and that's what we've been doing. All right. So I told you I can give you an example, right? I already gave you an example already, and it's a little bit different, right? So a house appraised for $100,000. This is just easy numbers, right? So if a house appraised for $100,000, and the bank saying, hey, we'll give you 70%, right? We'll give you 70% off, right, of the appraised value, right? So if they give you 70% appraised value, and you got that portion there, house appraised for that, so the appraised value is $70,000. Subtract the mortgage. You have a mortgage on that house. You over a balance on that house of $40,000. So that means you done paid it down to $40,000. That means you got $30,000 line of credit available. That's basically what it's saying, right? The LTV, the loan to value, they said, hey, we'll give you 70% on that 100,000, right? So you already know that you had 30,000 they want to keep, right? Then you have 40,000 that you owe as a balance for the mortgage. A house value now is 70,000 for them because they're gonna give you that part. So you subtract that 40 from that 70, you got $30,000 line of credit. Guys, that $30,000 is money that you have right now locked up in your house right now. 40, 50, 60, $100,000, and most folks don't even know it. Let me go back real quick. To this. Lenders create a lien against the property borrowed until paid in full. Borrower only pay principal and interest on funds drawn. Guys, if you have $30,000 in the bank and you don't use any of the $30,000, it's just there. It's just sitting there. You're not collecting interest on it because it's not your money. It's a line of credit, but you're not paying no money on it. When you spend $5,000, you only paying on $5,000, the interest on $5,000. Good question. Your question is, what's the interest rate? 8%, 9%, 10%? Doesn't matter, man. You're going to make so much money on that. But right now, I think the interest rate is right at 9%. I think my interest rate right now on my line of credit, if I use it, 9%. And what's 9% of free money that I just have lined up? A credit card is 23%, 29%, 30%. This is 9% of cash that you have available to spend when you're ready. So imagine this. I just told you that I lend my money to Joe, and sometimes I make 15 or 20% on my money. If I got to pay the bank only 9% on the money, and I can leave it out to him for 20%, I just made money, 11% on my money. I mean, wow. It's simple interest. It's like, hey, is this the amount? This is the amount you're paying. And every time you pay me, I can pay it off. Right? So just think about that. This is the key, guys. This is the key. Only on the balance is drawn. Right? It ain't that much. $30,000. That's enough for a down payment. A $100,000 house. If you do a $100,000 house, you got to put 20% down payment. 20% down payment on a $100,000 house. That's $20,000. You got $30,000 available. So if you put a down payment on a house for $20,000, and you got an asset on the house, and you rent it out for $1,000 a month using the 1% rent rule, if a house is worth $100,000, you can rent out for $1,000 a month minimum. They use the 1% rent rule, and the rule is different now. It used to be like $1,500 for a $100,000 house, right? So if you're renting out for that, and your $20,000 you borrowed is only like causing you 8%, I ain't got my calculator. Somebody else can pull a calculator out. That's not much money a month that you got to pay on. That's not much money a month you got to pay on. Guys, that's how you get in this business. I'm telling you the games because I want you to get in the business. I don't want you to keep dragging your feet saying you ain't got the money. If you have a house and you have equity in your house, you have money available. You just do the multiplication. If you go to the bank, they say they give you 80% loan value. That means they're going to keep 20%, 80% loan value. If they say 70%, they're going to keep 30%. So anything after that 30% is your money. They're going to keep their 30%. That money is theirs. They're going to keep it there to say they got some leverage on you, and then you have all the rest. Let me let somebody else in, y'all. I see somebody's waiting. That's the game, guys. That's how Heloc works. So let's talk about some risk versus reward. Home lines of credits is one of several options. You have line of credit, you have credit cards, you have IRAs, individual retirement accounts, you have hard money. We talked about hard money. We talked about that already, and we're going to talk about that more. We got private money lending, which Coach don't talk about. I call it lazy money. I call it lazy money. Whenever you have money in the bank, if you got, this is me, only me. Please don't be me. But this is my way of thinking. I grew up in a house where they told me that you need to save for a rainy day. A lot of rainy days happen, and I never had to spend that money. So I don't know what a rainy day looked like. So I came with my own philosophy. I need to save at least 90 days of my salary. That's it. That's all I need to be in the bank. Everything else need to be investments. 90 days of my salary. If I get fired today, I got 30 days to cry and whine and be sad. Then I got 30 days to go find a job. And then I got 30 days before my first check come in. And what 30 days should come in. You know what I'm saying? My check's coming in within 2 weeks. So 90 days is all I need. If I want to get fired and say I got fired from my job and I just want to find a new job right away. First 30 days, I go find a new job. Within the next 2 weeks, I should be getting a check in the mail. And then I can save it for the next 30 days. That's my thing. So lazy money is anything above those 90 days. 90 days saved in the bank. Rainy day happens and I lose my job and all crap breaking loose. I got 90 days supply. Money for the pay my bills, do what I need to do. After that, anything above that, that's lazy money. That money should be invested in assets, right? That money should be making me money. And that's what I want y'all to do. Start making your money make money. Guys, money is just like a basketball. You dribbling and you score points. Money's supposed to go out there and find more money and bring more money back to you. It's a tool to use to bring more. It's a magnet, right? So that's what I call lazy money, private money lending. That's why I lend my money out to people. Hard money, I'm going to do IRAs. I'm going to do all that stuff later on this month. Not this month, next month or so. I think I got lead generation and coach guide. Yep. Lead generation is my next. So weigh the cost of your home equity line of credit versus the benefits. Shop the terms, meet your borrower's needs. So when you talk to different banks, you can find out what exactly they're saying. 80%, right? 70%, 75%. Those usually the three numbers. 80, 75, and 70%. Ultimately, failure to repay forfeits your home. Guys, you're going to pay that money. Why would you be using money? Why would you use your money? Now, do you see what I'm saying now? Let's go backwards again, one more time. Why would I use my money to do home improvement on a house that I'm already paying bills? Why would I use my money, my line of credit, to go and pay for my college tuition for a child or for myself? Why won't I just go buy a rental property and let the rent from that rental property pay for my child tuition? Why won't I buy a rental property and let the money from that rental property pay for my medical expenses? Right? If I want to fix on my house, why would I buy a rental property and let the income coming back from that rental property fix on my house? When I go on vacation with OPM, other people money. When I lend my money out, my lazy money out to Joe, Coach Joe, the profit I get from that is the money I spend for the travel with. I can't go on vacation till, hey, I get that money back. That money paid my vacation, not the money I work with every day. Get what I'm coming from? Right? Now, if you have a child and you buy a rental property if you buy a rental property when your child first born, right? When they first born, in 15 years, that house should be paid off. Not to mention you making all that money. So in 15 years, when your child ready to go to college, you can do a line of credit against that house right there, that rental property that tenant is going to pay the money back. Yeah, now I can pay for college tuition with your money, OPM, right? Think about it. And if you buy a rental property today and nothing happens in 15, 20, 30 years, all of a sudden you get sick, you have all that, you can use a line of credit against a rental property to pay for your medical expense. Guys, I hope this making sense. And like I said, you should be able to fix your house up with their money. Fix your house up with the money you're making a profit. So risk versus rewards a little bit more. Variable interest rates, yeah, we don't want to do those, right? We're going to stay away from variable interest rate. That's how people lost their house in 2008, right? When the market crashed. They had them variable interest rate and it went up and down and went crazy. So we don't want to do those, right? We want fixed interest rate. So that's why I'm just going to break it down to y'all right off the bat. You don't want nothing that's saying every month it could be a different price. You want a fixed interest rate that you know you got, right? Now, when it comes to a line of credit, it's going to be prime plus 1.5. Whatever prime is for the state, the nation, and whatever, it's going to be 1.5 points more on that because it's I don't know. I don't want to lie and say make it up, but that was going to be the index. The index of the lending is using how often does the value of the index change? All right, yeah, it don't change that much, guys. Once it goes up, it goes up. I mean, it's going to stay that way for a good minute. Usually when it's just trampling up, that's when you have a problem. But once you get set, it's set, right? I was at 8% for a long time. Now I'm at like 9.5% on my lines of credit. And I don't even use it. It's just, I just know the interest rate. All right, let me go to the next thing. All right, how we use lines of credit. A HELOC can be used for a large expense. Absolutely. I would not consolidate credit card debt. I would not do that, but I'm telling you, folks do that. Funding unexpected bills, wouldn't do that, such as unexpected medical procedures. I already talked about it, the college tuition, right? We use it to leverage debt, buying assets. Bam, there we go, right? Here's where we at. That's what we do. We buy assets. We buy rental properties. We lend out our money for opportunities, right? We lend our money out to people. I just told you, if you got 9% interest rate on your doggone money and you can make 20% by lending it to me, hey, guess what? You just made 11%, right? Too easy, easy peasy. Rehabbing a property. When I burn a house, I fix another house up with my line of credit. When I refinance that house, I pay my line of credit off and the new debt is with that property that the tenant is paying. Start a business. Right now, if you say you don't have money to start a business, no, that's foolishness. Start a business by getting your line of credit, use your line of credit, start a business, go make some money with your business, pay your line of credit off, and keep it moving. So everybody have the money that owns a home that got a little equity. So you can start right now. Start right now. So that's how we use lines of credit, guys. We want to use it to leverage assets, to buy assets. A business is an asset that's going to keep making money. Rehabbing a property is making a property more valuable than what it was at first. Once you make it more valuable than what it was at first, now you just created money out of thin air. Money out of thin air, right? And then if you lend money out to other folks and you get a return on your money, you're making money. You're making more money than you made at first. You don't want to sit in the bank and make 1%, 2%, maybe 5%. When you can make 8, 10, 12, 15, and 20% by lending out to people, right? All right, so federal credit unions. Now, I went through Barksdale. Did I get y'all all my stuff? Okay, so what I did was I went to Barksdale. All right. So that's what I got my line of credit with. All right, I got it through them. And I'll make sure I can give you all my information. So I went to Barksdale Credit Union website, and this should be a hyperlink. It is a hyperlink. And basically, that's their terms right there. Borrow as little as $10,000 to as much as $100,000. No origination fee. Let's talk about that. No fees for borrowing this money. No fees. No appraisal fees. No points fees. No annual fees. The first time I had a line of credit was with Chase Bank. Okay, thank y'all for staying. I don't know what just happened. Thank y'all for staying on because my computer just rebooted, whatever that happened, Zoom just rebooted. Thank you for staying on. So let me go ahead and finish this out. 95% equity you can borrow with Barksdale. You can go to this website. If you want this PowerPoint, put your email in the chat. It's going to come directly to me and I send it to you, or you can get on my calendar. But here's more information about mortgages. So you got loan mortgage information if you want to learn more. I did put some hyperlinks in here as well, HELOCs, Barksdale Credit Union, and this is where I got the information from, and a Federal Reserve. So I didn't make this information up. Who I am, again, I'm Coach Terrence Williams. You see that, my big fat mug right there, my picture, and then Coach is the subject to man. He loves to do HELOCs. Here's a little information. I wonder, can I copy this? No, they ain't gonna let me copy this from there. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the chat box, if you have any questions, You can raise your hand and I will unmute you and you can speak, or you can type in the chat. All right. I see Miss Scott, I got you. And what I'm going to do is, where's my Word document? All right, here's my Word document. All right, if you want a 15-minute consultation for us to talk, I would love to talk to you. I'm going to put in a chat box right now to everybody where you can click on this, everyone in the meeting. All right, booyah. So that's my book, right? That's my audio version of my book. Only $9, guys. $9. Buy the audio book, listen to the story, then get on my schedule. You're going to get an email with an invite to my schedule. So please go ahead and buy the book. It's only $9. You can hear my story, what I do it, how I did it, and why I did it, and what I'm doing it for. And then at the same token, you can also as well, get on my schedule for 15 minutes, right? We can chit chat to see what we can do to help you with a planning path. As you can see, I got a 5-figure formula. I want to teach folks how to make 10 grand a month. That's the goal. That's my goal for you, right? That's my goal for you. I want to help you make 10 grand a month, right? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be nice to have 10 grand? Oh, am I even sharing my screen? I'm over here talking. I don't even think I'm sharing my screen. Nope, y'all just let me talk. All right. Y'all didn't see that ugly mug of mine. All right, now you can see my ugly mug. All right. Anybody have any questions? I did put in the chat box that piece. Any questions? Any questions? I see 2 email addresses. I'm cutting and pasting them now. Put them on Word document so I can email it to you. Dr. Discipline. All right there. I see you. If you got questions, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat box. I'm here to answer questions to help you out and help you get started. Want you to get started. Guys, we want you to get started. The reason why I'm talking about Helocs, because I don't want you to have no excuse why you cannot take advantage of this market and this system. Deals are out here, and to get started is possible. It's not impossible. Now, does it take work to find a little deal or two? Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that you ain't gonna find a deal the first time you talk to somebody. Gotta call a couple people. All right, guys, I'm looking down because I'm over here cutting and pasting some of the email addresses that was provided for this PowerPoint. Not trying to be rude. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry if I talk too fast. I do talk fast. My bad. I apologize. Get excited. All right. No questions. No questions. All right. I see another email address. Thank you. Thank you. I will cut and paste and send. Whenever it is. Yeah. Okay. Let me do that. No questions. No comments. Anybody just want to be unmute to say anything? All right, I got the 3 email addresses. All right, gotcha. All right, the book is in there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, well, hey, look, y'all gonna make it an easy night for me then. All right, not hearing any questions then. Thank y'all for y'all time. I hope that you enjoyed this. Sorry for the internet. Zoom timed out. Zoom timed out. Okay, I got another email address. Got you. All right. Copy. Paste. That was interesting. Zoom timed out. I'm still live and y'all still there. Okay, that was interesting. Thank God. All right, so look, if you want to get on our schedule, please click on my link. All right, click on that link. My hands is raised. Okay, I don't see your hand raised. Why your hand raised and I don't see it? All right, Monica, I'm sorry. Let me find you right quick. That's why I got to have it open. All right, let me unmute you. All right, Miss Monica, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I just have a quick question that I've always kind of wondered about, maybe subject to or lease purchase type thing, maybe more so subject to. So I'm kind of learning or doing my research about that. Can you tell me how, when you're dealing with subject to properties, how often or likely is it that you would be called, I don't know, and whether it be in the middle of the night or whenever, how often is it that you would kind of have to, I guess, act as a landlord, so to speak? Because landlord has never been anything that I've ever really was interested in. So I didn't know what subject to, are they calling you, the
Good question. Great question.
if that makes sense of what I'm trying to ask.
No. I totally get it what you're asking. And let me make sure so you can do effective communication. What I'm hearing is, hey, I wouldn't mind doing a substitute strategy. However, I don't want to be a landlord, correct?
Okay, yes.
All right. So it depends on your strategy. Bottom line, it just depends on your strategy. If you're doing substitute to do a lease option to sell it to the next person that you're renting it out to, then no, you don't have to get called because you're doing a lease option. If you're doing a lease option, they're going to own the property, right? And that's one of the strategies where we put a substitute deal together with a seller that need to be out of the house. We find a buyer that want to buy the house but don't have the credit. So I would lease option that house out to them. They would give me the money that I'm going to give to that seller to pay for that down payment on that house. And then they're going to rent it out from me and it's their house. So anything that go wrong with it, they're going to have to fix it and do whatever they got to do. That's one way. Second way is that we will get a property manager to manage a property. That's what I would do. And that's what I do anyway. I told my mom, you no longer work for nobody else. You work for me. You work 4 days out of the month. You just make sure that, hey, by the 5th of the month, if nobody paid, you go and send the letters out saying you owe this money, pay you, here's your interest, and here's all this and that. And that's it. And do my books. So that's my property manager. My mom is my property manager. So she deals with any phone calls. Now, how do you handle not having phone calls in the middle of the night about freaking toilets and other crazy stuff? You set clear expectations up front, letting them know that, hey, our duty hours are during these time of the day. This is when you can reach me. That's it. Or did I lose you? Oh, you just put your hand out. Yeah, you just set basically expectations up front. Hey, we work from this hour to this hours. If you have any issues, send an email or send a text message to this account or put your work order in at this account. If you use apartment.com, this is more information than you asked for, but if you use apartment.com, they got a free maintenance, a free property management tools in apartment.com, and that's what I use. So every time somebody wants something, they can actually put stuff in there, they can send message to me, do all that stuff, and then my mom can track all that stuff as well, right? Or you can do, like I said, you can have an email address where they just email that box and they say that, and then that morning when my mom get up, she can check it, that type of stuff. So that's kind of how it works, how you keep from getting phone calls in the middle of the night and doing crazy hours. Now, if water is pouring out, that's an emergency, that's a different story. And you may have to get that call, but if you got a property manager, they have to deal. All right. Monica, did I answer your question?
Oh, okay. Thank you. You unmuted me. Got it. So basically you're saying that it would be the tenants that are in there, it is their responsibility, or if someone should call you or whatnot, then you can either yourself, you would be paying for a property manager to manage it. So that's an expense that would technically come from me. That if I didn't want to manage it, I would have to do a property manager or make it clear to them, whether that be signing something or whatever, I don't know, but making it clear to them that they are responsible for anything that, goes on, or.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it.
That's all it is. And when it comes to property manager, if you work with us, I always tell you to buy a house with a property manager up front that's saying that, hey, here's the percentage you're gonna pay property manager, probably like 10% right off the back. So when you buy the house, you already know you have it funded for a property manager. And if you're not gonna pay for a property manager, the money at 10% is your money. That's your property manager, you the manager. So you're paying yourself 10% plus the extra money you're making from the house.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for asking. All right, I seen another question. Do you know where I can get a fix and flip loan, private or hard money? I don't have an LLC set up, but all right. So, but some business thing. All right. So you got some called DSRC lending. DSRC lending does not need an LLC. You can do it in your personal name. You can do it in anything. I do have a contact. I don't know where you're located at, right? I don't know where you're located at. So you definitely need to click on there and get on my schedule so I can link you up with the right people. I have folks in, I got some folks doing nationwide. So it really don't matter if you're nationwide, but I got a guy here named Clint Hooper. Clint Hooper, he's doing it right in North Carolina. I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm active duty military. So that's who I have doing most of my DRC loans. But I do have contacts in Louisiana, have contacts in Virginia, contacts in Chicago, contacts that does nationwide. So when it comes to fix and flip loans, we do have people that can help you out. You in Georgia? Yes. I do have a nationwide. I don't have a person particular Georgia, but I have 2 people I can refer you to. So definitely click on my link, get on my schedule, get the little book or what have you, hear me out so you can know me. And plus, I want folks to hear my story. I want folks to hear my story. So please do that, and let's get on my schedule so I can help you out and get you what you need. I got a few contacts. I do. And DRC loan will help you out. DRC loan will help you out. Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. All right, my hand is raised. Question. Okay. All right, miss. All right, let me unmute you. I see you now. Unmuted. Come on, Baptist Church.
I don't have any rental properties. However, I am renting my property and want to try to get other income coming in. What would be the best way for me to do that? Should I go and apply for a loan or to be able to buy the property, or what would be the best way?
All right, let me make sure I got the question right. You're renting a property right now and you're trying to figure out how to buy the house you're in, or you trying to figure out how to buy another house?
But the house that I'm in.
Okay, is there a seller, is the person you rent from, the landlord or whomever, are they wanting to sell?
When I asked them, they was pretty much telling me to make an offer. However, the house that I'm in is through the state employees credit union.
That's who they got the loan with?
Yes.
All right. So do you know how much they owe on it?
I don't.
All right. So we'll have to, we get on my schedule. I can pull that information up and probably tell you how much they owe on it. So when you make an offer, you can make an offer lower, like around by that number, right? Because you don't want to, hey, they want to break even if they want to make money. But first of all, you got to gauge the motivation of the seller. So once you gauge the motivation of the seller, you kind of know what your numbers is. And, a couple of my mentors said the first to say a number loses, right? That's how you see it. But nonetheless, it's really honestly about what is it that they want to walk away with. If you find out what they want to walk away with, you probably can buy the house subject to the existing loan, give them a little money to walk away, put the house in your name, and you pay them monthly as an owner finance, subject to the existing loan, right? That's what subject to is about.
Okay, so I pretty much they wanted to get what they put in the renovation initially. I've been here 6 years, not sure what they spent in the renovation of the house, but they wanted to get that back out of it before selling.
Okay, well, and now you got a number. So you got a number in mind. Well, you got an ideal in mind, not a number in mind. So what you would like to do is find out what that number is. So, hey, just curious, what number they is, what the figure, what they look like so I can start saving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a conversation with the seller to figure out what exactly is that number that they say their renovation worth. And because you can't guess it, you don't know what they did. So you let them tell you that. And if they share that with you now, again, you may want to give them a portion of that money up front and then do a subject to, take over their loan and say, hey, I'm going to pay you monthly this amount of money. I go up on my rent. I'm paying you this much rent. I go up an extra $100 a month and I pay you this down. I don't know, but we got to figure out their motivation. What motivates them to let you have it and get you out the way? And you got to make the deal sound like, hey, I'm doing you a favor. That's what I would suggest with that. I wouldn't suggest going out there, unless you have a number, to go out and get a loan, right? But I would work with the numbers they already got. I would find out what their bottom line number is, and then I'll work around that bottom line number to get them what they want. Because that's all we try to do is find a win-win scenario, right?
Okay, thank you.
Cool beans. Did I answer your question for real? Now, if I answer your question,
you did.
Okay,
you did.
All right. So the most important thing, and this for everybody on call. This is for everybody. Listen, a house is nothing but a box. A house is nothing but a box. That's all it is. It's a box, 4 walls up. People, you're not buying emotions, right? You're trying to figure out what that person need to get out of it, to let that box go. So once you find out what that need is, then you find out how to cater to it. This for everybody. This is just that's the simplest law of negotiating. It's just a box. What does it take to get this box off your hand? What will you release it for? Do you need walk away money? Do you need to go buy your car? Do you need to send your kids to college? How much money you need to get out of here? All right. And then whatever else, we can work the numbers out after that. As long as you get what you want, I get what I want. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for asking that question. We can look it up. We can look up everything to see. So just get my schedule so we can go and look it up. I think you got an invite already online and your email, so you can just get on my calendar. Okay, then let me cut and paste this and bring this down again. So somebody asked, how can they get on my schedule for a coaching call? Booyah. All right, let me put in there for everybody. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking down because I'm on the other screen. I got 3 screens up. Sorry. I'm gonna do better one day, but not today. All right, I'm gonna put this in there for everybody. All right, there you go. So if you want to get on my calendar, I will really appreciate if you support by listening to the story, my book. That's audio version, because I know everybody don't got time to stop and read a doggone book right now. If you want to buy the book, you can go to Amazon and buy the book. But they're just an audio version, so you can kind of hear a little bit about me and know kind of what's going on. And plus tell other folks about me, right? I'm trying to grow and let folks know I'm here. Myself and Coach Joe, we're doing big things. We want folks to win. We want folks to win. I don't believe anybody should work for the rest of their life and wait for 30 years to retire with a check. That's my personal belief. My personal belief is I do not believe you should have to work for 20 to 30 years to retire. Now, if you choose to do that, perfect. But put yourself in a predicament where you don't have to do it, right? Try to have to do it, right? Try and put yourself in a predicament where you don't have to, right? We want to put ourselves in a predicament where we choose to work that long. So if you start buying rental properties and you replace that money you're making from your rental properties can replace your salary. Now you no longer go to work because you want to go. I have to go. You go because you choose to go. When you go to work and people talking crazy, you're not worried about what they're saying because you're like, hey, I can walk away now, right? That's how I want you to feel. And that's what I desire for you to feel. And the goal is to get you to make 10 grand a month. You may make more than that, but if you're making an additional 10 grand a month on whatever you're making, Lord knows what you can do with that. 10 grand a month is the goal. That's my expectation for anybody I work with, to aim high. Because if you aim for 10 grand and you fall short at 8 grand, it's still better than aiming for 1,000 and you fall short and make 500, right? If you aim for 10 grand and you make 2 grand, it's still better than aiming for $500 and you make $100. So we aim high, right? I love eagles. Right? I love eagles because eagles fly high. That's the highest flying bird in the world. Right? Well, now I'm lying. The vulture. The vulture fly higher. They got a vulture that fly higher than that because I did my research. I forgot what kind of vulture it was. All right, don't hold me to it. However, yeah, eagles do fly high, right? And they fly high and they fly alone. They don't fly in groups. So why am I saying that? Because if you decide to go down this path, people that you love is going to tell you don't do it. People that you love is going to say that's hard. People that you love gonna say tenants are crazy. Guys, my job is crazy. The people I work with is crazy. The folks I serve with is crazy. The kids I taught when I was a school teacher was crazy. That's all crazy. I'd rather deal with a tenant that's crazy, that's making me money. Making me money, because every year I go up on a rent and every year I get a raise. So when everybody else complains about not getting a raise, I get a raise. And if you got 10 houses and you get a raise every year, you just got 10 times more money than you made at first. And that happens every year. And when somebody move out, the house value moves. Guys, the opportunity is here for you to be as successful as you want to be. You just got to do the work. You cannot be lazy and not work. And that's why we try and get you to make a schedule for yourself. Sit down and write out a calendar. Sit down and look at your time, because everybody say they don't have time is a lie. You have the time. You're just not using it wisely. You're not managing it wisely. You're not doing the smartest things in the world that you should be doing. When I go to work, I have 3 things I want to get out of the way, and that's the biggest 3 things I need to get out of the way that day. If I not got 3 things in the morning before everybody else get there, because I get to work an hour before everybody else get there. I try to most days, right? Get that hour before everybody get there, because if I knock out them 3 things, I got more done than everybody else today. So everything extra that somebody come in with their problems, their issues, their concerns, oh, the life is on fire, I already got my 3 things out the way. At least 2 of them out the way before they got there. Guys, that's how you have to plan your day out. I plan to go to work early so I can be ahead of the game. I plan to come home and get on the phone and talk to people on the phone and chit chat with people on the phone and get them my undivided attention for a good minute, right? Because I want to serve them and I want them to know they're important. And I want them to understand that I want the most for them. So I do that intentionally. Guys, it's all about being intentional. It's real estate business is an intentional business. You have to make a lot of phone calls, or you got to have somebody making a lot of phone calls for you. You got to have a lot of people calling you by bandit signs, social media posting, websites. They come to you then. But if you don't have them coming to you, you got to go to them. You got to drive for dollars. You got to pick a phone up and you got to call, right? Or you got to tell everybody to send out cards to networking events. And since I've been doing that, I have met so many superstars. Because giants make giants, and giants partner with giants to create giants. And that's our attitude. We're building a community of people that want to be better, that want more out of life, and that want other people to want more out of life. That's the environment that we're creating. That's the environment that I'm pushing, and that's the environment that we're doing. Coach is doing group homes, and I know you want to make $15,000 on one house. I know you want to make $10,000 on one house. Right? And you get a right house with the right bedrooms and the right bathrooms, and you get the thing fully furnished. Guys, did you just hear Biden sign in Chicago, Dallas, California? It's 6 places. I'm missing other ones, right? A new law for homeless. $566 million, $560 million to those 6 states. Not to mention they gave more money to HUD. They gave some more money to other places to deal with homeless. So guess what I started doing? I started looking at, hey, veterans homes. All right, I need to buy me a house down here in Fort Bragg or Fort Liberty, because we're Fort Liberty now. And I need to start looking at these veterans and see how I can serve them. I already partnered with somebody that said they want to do with second chance people, right? These are opportunities that the government is paying for them to live. I went to a meeting 2 weeks ago with the mayor of this area. He had a meeting in front of everybody at a little center, a business center. And he said, the smartest thing you do is partner with the government to pay your bills. Partner with the government to pay your bills. That means Section 8 housing, which I have several houses with Section 8 housing. The government is paying their bills, paying my bills. Oh yeah. Second chance people, the government will pay. Homeless people, the government will pay. Single moms, the government pay, right? So let's look at opportunities like that. And that's why we're creating an environment where we all talk it, spitball it, and grow it, and groom it, and practice it, and hold each other accountable. That's what this is about, guys. So get on my schedule, because if you hear my story, you'll understand I'm just like you. I'm a worker bee. I didn't have money growing up. I actually wanted to commit suicide several times because I hated my life. But now I love my life because I found my passion. And my passion is helping other people. My passion is serving other people. My passion is getting other people to be successful. And guess what? It makes me feel good if I can share my screen when I have a young lady that I coached back in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade that's asked me to write a recommendation for her doctorate degree. Do I have it open so I can share my screen? Yes, it's already closed. All right, yeah, I just uploaded to LSUS Shreveport. She's working on her doctorate degree. And when I can write letters of recommendations for that person that I taught 10 years ago, because that was like in 2006. Yeah, 2006, 7. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And she's asking me to write letters of recommendation. That feels good. That feels pleasurable. She's in the Navy. She went in the military. She's a firefighter. And now she's up in Tennessee working with a recruiter. And now she's going to go back home and go to school and get a doctoral degree. Guys, this is a pleasure being on this call. Thank y'all for staying all the way to the end. Please get on my schedule. Please, let's talk. And please, if you're a part of our mentoring group, continue to take action. Write your calendar out, make it clear, and move forward. Thank y'all. Be blessed and have a great night. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. All right. I'm over here feeling like I'm preaching. All right. You're welcome. All right.